For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
It's that time of the day again. Otters baseball coming your way here on Flow Sports and the Otters Digital Network. So happy you could join us here for this Saturday night contest. Greetings and salutations, everybody. Kyle Chandler joining you from Crusher Stadium in Avon, Ohio. And the Evansville Otters will look to bounce back after dropping yesterday's game 7-3 in the series opener. So we'll see what Evansville has in store tonight. 21-34 on the 2024 season, and Lake Erie 35-20. Ballpark dimensions here at Crusher Stadium: 325 to the right and left field lines, and it is 400 toward dead center. Calling our balls and strikes tonight, our crew chief Adam Morgan. Out at first base, umpiring is Archer Flores Pareda, and our third base umpire is Saul Lamofsky. Leonardo Rodriguez on the rubber for Lake Erie tonight. He is 1-0, making his 16th appearance of the year. This is his third game in the starting role, 25 and a third innings of work and a 4.97 ERA. Well, Rodriguez, typically a guy to come out of the bullpen for Lake Erie, so we'll have to see what that pitch count is going to look like tonight. He will face Giovanni DiGiacomo, who digs in from the left side. He's the first batter of the game tonight. DiGiacomo working on a 3-game hit streak. The right-hander into the wind, he motions home, and he deals a fastball off the outside part of the plate, and we're underway at 7:05 p.m. Rodriguez back to it. Here comes the 1-0. Another heater, misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. DiGiacomo maybe starting to figure some things out after falling into a bit of a slump. The pitch, and it's in there for a strike. And look, slumps are part of the game. What makes a good hitter great is being able to work out of it. Next pitch to DiGiacomo, misses high and outside, and it's a 3-1 count. Rodriguez wasting no time on the rubber early in this contest, and I would expect him to work efficiently throughout the game. The 3-1. Swing and a miss. Big cut that time from DiGiacomo. Couldn't connect. And we'll try it now at 3-2. DiGiacomo batting .280 on the season. Giovanni with 10 RBIs, 14 runs scored, 7 doubles. He calls time, wants to think things over. Rodriguez winds and fires home. And it's a swing and a miss. Out number 1 here in the top of the first inning as Gio goes down swinging. That'll bring up Delvin Zinn to the plate. Well, yesterday Zinn was batting in the 9-hole. Today he has been plugged all the way up the order to the number 2 spot. Rodriguez, the right-hander, gets the sign. He's into the motion. Here comes his first pitch. Fastball misses in, and the count is 1-0. We said it yesterday, but my goodness, has Zinn been all around the batting order. Here's the pitch, and he lifts this foul back behind the plate. A ball and a strike. We have seen Zinn in the leadoff. He's batted 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. Rodriguez winds and fires. Oh, watch out. That was a fastball in at the armpits of Zinn. He gets out of the way. 2 balls and a strike. This is the first game where Zinn has batted in the 2-hole. Only the 3, 4, and 5 holes left to go. Now the 2-1. And it's tipped into the glove of Rodriguez. And it's a 2-2 count now for Zinn. Just a beautiful day here at the ballpark. 83 degrees, sunny skies. Our American flag blowing in as it always does at this venue. A pitcher's friendly ballpark. Rodriguez in the motion, comes home, breaking ball, misses outside, and the count is 3-2 for Zinn. Makes it so tough to hit at a place like this whenever the wind is constantly blowing in toward home plate. And we are just about 5 minutes from the shores of Lake Erie, so that weather also plays an effect, not just to the wind, but also to the unpredictability of Mr. Sun and the rain. Here's the pitch, and it's called strike 3. A nice fastball painted at the knees, and Zinn is down looking. Out number 2 here in the top of the first inning, and that'll bring up David Mendham. Mendham batting .337, a 2024 All-Star selection. He bats left-handed, bases empty here in the first inning, no score. Rodriguez motions home the first pitch, ground ball hit out to second. This should end the frame. Espinal up with it, and he will retire Mendham. A 1-2-3 for Rodriguez in the top of the first inning. Evansville goes down quietly. Lake Erie coming to bat for the first time on Flow Sports and the Otters Digital Network. Bottom of the first inning, no score between Evansville and Lake Erie. Braden Scott on the rubber for the Otters, and the left-hander, 1-7 this year, his 12th start tonight, and as many appearances with 65 1/3 innings of work, a 4.41 ERA. Digging in from the left side, Jared Watkins, the shortstop, leads it off for Lake Erie. Scott into the wind, he kicks and deals the first pitch, and it's in there for a strike. The count is 0-1. Watkins, a 1-for-3 game yesterday. Now the kick and the pitch. And it's another fastball, this time just a smidge upstairs, a ball and a strike now. Watkins batting .280 in the leadoff spot, a 703 OPS. Here's the 1-1. He goes after one low, couldn't connect, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Scott, a 4-seam fastball, sweeping curve, cutter, and a changeup in the arsenal. Coming off a 6-inning performance back on July 7th against New England, gave up 6 runs, but just 3 earned on 7 hits. The pitch, swing and a miss. And off speed, and Watkins went chasing for the second time in the at-bat. And he's out number 1 in the home first. That'll bring up Logan Thomason. Thomason absolutely manhandled the Lake Erie pitching, or excuse me, the Evansville pitching staff yesterday. Scott deals home. Fastball in there for a strike, and we'll see if things are different with Scott on the mound today. Braden comes in with a lot of experience with this club. He motions home the 0-1, and it drops in for a strike, 0-2 to Thomason. But yesterday, the Crushers' third baseman, 3 for 4 with 2 doubles, 3 RBI. Now the wind and the pitch. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count is 1-2. Thomason selected as a 2024 All-Star for Lake Erie. Now the 1-2. He sends it back over the screen. A 284 average, 4 homers, 24 RBI, 36 runs scored. Other position players selected as an All-Star, Jared Watkins and John Tuchillo for Lake Erie. Next pitch, misses the zone, and the count is 2-2. Lake Erie is sending a lot of guys to the Midsummer Classic. Scott deals home the 2-2. Grounder hit to the shortstop. Zinn charging. He fields it and throws to first. And Thomason is out number 2. Base is empty for Jack Harris. We're in the home first, no score. Harris had a terrific start to the season, but his numbers have slowed down a little bit in the month of July and maybe even into late June a little bit. First pitch to him. Misses downstairs, and the count is 1-0. Harris dealt with some injuries, played through it last year for Lake Erie. Now in a full season healthy, he's been a great player. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Harris is one of those outfielders that you love to have in his 3rd year with the club. Signed an extension this offseason, the 2-0 pitch, and it's rifled back to the screen. 2 balls and a strike now. But he hit .299 in the month of May. Actually, in the month of July, he has been picking it up because he had a sluggish June. Scott winds and fires, and the 2-1 drops in for a strike. Heater on the outside corner, and it's now 2-2. Batted just .223 in 25 games last month, but in this month, he's batting .359. He goes after the next pitch, hits a fly ball out toward the right of center field, ranging over to Giacomo, and he will make the catch. The inning is over. 1, 2, 3 innings for both starting pitchers tonight. No score after 1 between Evansville and Lake Erie on Flow Sports and the Otters Digital Network. Middle third of the order here in the away second. Dakota Phillips leading it off for Evansville. No score with Lake Erie. Leonardo Rodriguez back on the rubber. The tall right-hander winds and fires a fastball in for a strike, and the count is 0-1. 13 pitches, 7 strikes in that first inning for Rodriguez. He's into the motion. The kick and the pitch lifted the opposite way, and it's out of play. 0-2 to the left-handed hitter. Rodriguez stands 6'7", 255 pounds. It's a lot of mass moving towards home. He kicks and deals the 0-2. Weak grounder, rolled out towards second. Espinal up with it, and he will retire Phillips at first. One gone in the inning. Well, Rodriguez, again, has primarily come out of the bullpen for Lake Erie this year. This is just his third start. But Rodriguez, can't imagine he'll have a very big pitch count tonight. Will probably only be able to go 4 or 5 innings. First pitch to Randy Bednar, line back to the screen, and the count is 0-1. So it will be a bullpen day for Lake Erie today. The righty tosses home the next pitch, and it misses downstairs. 1-1 the count now for Bednar. Bednar batting right-handed into his 51st game with the club. Now the 1-1. And it's a check swing, and Bednar just nicked that baseball as it was chopped back toward the screen, and we'll try it at 1-2. Not sure if that would have missed the zone, but I know Bednar didn't want to have that result. Now the 1-2 home, and it's tapped back to the screen. We'll try it again at 1-2. Well, Bednar came to the club late this year. Missed the first road series with the team, that single game against Windy City and the 3 against Joliet. Rodriguez winds and fires, swing and a miss. And Bednar is down on strikes. He's out number 2 here in the second. But the one thing about Bednar, Randy has just been, oh, how would the kids put it these days? An absolute unit. He never misses games. So you think he missed the first 4 games. This is his 51st, and Evansville has played in 56. You do the math. First pitch, a foul tip off the bat of Paven Parks, and the count is 0-1. Parks making his return off the DL today. So his first at bat back in action. Now the next delivery. And it's at the knees, called a strike quickly, 0-2. Parks grew up around this area in Akron, Ohio. He's got some family in attendance, the 0-2. Inside, and that was near the shoe tops of Parks. He got out of the way. Paven joined the club in the Washington series earlier this week, but he wasn't ready until tonight. Now the 1-2. Breaking ball low, blocked by Rodriguez. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Base is empty, 2 gone in the second, no score. Parks into his 20th game with the club. Picked up from the Chicago Dogs in June. Here's the 2-2 pitch. This is popped up on the infield left side. Calling for it near the bag, Logan Thomason, and the third baseman will drop to a knee and make the spinning catch. Almost had some trouble with it out there, but able to handle the baseball. 6 up, 6 down for Rodriguez, and it is Evansville nothing, Lake Erie nothing on Flow Sports, and the Otters Digital Network will take it to the home second. Bottom of the second inning, and it is Braden Scott back on the rubber for Evansville. He will face Vincent Bird Jr., Ronald Washington, and Noah Marcoux. The southpaw went 1-2-3 in the first inning. He winds and fires the first pitch to Bird. And it's a chopper hit to the left side, foul and out of play. We'll try it at 0-1. 15 pitches, 10 strikes in that first frame. Scott looks sharp. He motions home the 0-1 delivery. And Bird takes outside. The count is 1-1. Scott has had a lot of games this year where he's looked really good, but the numbers don't support it. Here comes the 1-1. And it's tipped into the glove of the catcher, Justin Felix. A ball and 2 strikes. So many games where Scott has been great pitching through 6 innings. Then in the 7th, he will give up inherited base runners who come around to score. Or another example, in his last start, he gave up 3 unearned runs. He's ready. Now here's the 1-2. Fastball on the outside corner, called strike 3. Second strikeout of the game for Scott as he sets down Bird. And now it'll be Ronald Washington coming to the plate. And when you look at that 1-7 record, it's an ugly number, no doubt. But again, it's tough to base his performance off that win-loss. First pitch to Washington, and it's in there for a strike. The count is 0-1. That is becoming an archaic statistic for pitchers. There have been arguments to take it out of the game of baseball. Scott kicks and deals the 0-1. Fastball, swing and a miss, blew it by Washington, and the count is 0-2. There are other stats to look at. Call them sabermetrics. And those sabermetric stats are more accurate as to how a pitcher actually throws on the mound. Scott winds and fires. 0-2 fastball, high and outside. A ball and 2 strikes for Washington. Base is empty. 1 out here in the second, no score. Scott gets the sign. He motions home the pitch. Breaking ball misses outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Billy Beane, one of the first guys to coin that term sabermetrics during the Moneyball era. Now the 2-2. And it misses downstairs, so after being ahead 0-2, Scott now working with a 3-2 count for Washington. He winds and deals. This is lined back to the screen, and the count remains at 3-2. That is a great film. And Bill James, the quote-unquote founder of Moneyball. Here's the pitch. Fastball just a smidge downstairs. And that's a walk for Washington. 1 out base runner here in the second for Lake Erie. That's the first base runner of the game for either club. We've had good pitching on our hands early tonight. We'll see if that continues. Here comes Noah Marcoux. The interesting thing was Bill James got some backlash for his sabermetric system when it first came out. First pitch at the knees, a called strike to Marcoux, and it's 0-1. But it ended up changing the game of baseball. Scott from the stretch deals home, and this is lined toward left field. That'll get down for a base hit. Takes a hop, finds the glove of Bednar, holding up at second base Washington, and there's 2 base runners for Lake Erie here in the second. No score with Evansville, but a duck in the pond, and here comes Walner Espinal. Technically, James was also the one to coin the term sabermetrics. That was back in 1980. It describes the search for objective knowledge about baseball. So it's more than just looking at the numbers and saying, this guy's good, this guy isn't. Espinal bats right-handed, first pitch to him, and it's on the outside corner, a strike, the count 0-1. And Moneyball really put that idea on the map because of a guy named Billy Bean. Scott comes to the set, a look to second, now he comes home. And here's a tapper foul to the third base side. We'll try it at 0-2 for Espinal. Brad Pitt, of course, the big star. Philip Seymour Hoffman, also in that movie Moneyball, following the Oakland A's success in the early 2000s. Here comes the 0-2 from Scott. First he'll step off, no throw to second, but looked over there. Was into that leg kick and instead of going home, pulled it back to the bag. At the set again, now he deals. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. A ball that spiked into the turf, blocked by Felix, and Espinal went fishing after one low. Third strikeout of the game for Scott, second this inning. Here comes Alex Rodriguez to the plate. First and second for Lake Erie, two gone in the second inning, and there's no score. A massive strikeout for Scott. He's one of the best in the Frontier League to get Ks. Here comes the first pitch, and Rodriguez takes a strike on the outside corner. The count is 0-1. Zach Smith and Braden Scott, both in the top 10 in strikeouts per 9 in the Frontier League. At the set, the southpaw twirls and deals the 0-1. And it's tapped back to the screen, foul. We'll try it at 0-2. Now Scott trying to work around that one-out walk and one-out base hit. He's got Rodriguez, 0-2. Here it comes. And it's a fastball that misses outside. Well, we'll be back tomorrow for the Sunday matinee between these two clubs, a 2:05 Eastern time. First pitch, that's 1:05 Central time for all the Otters fans tuning in back in Evansville. Now the 1-2, both runners go, swing and a miss. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Scott, and he strands 2 runners. No damage done from Lake Erie in the home second, and we're scoreless. Evansville coming to bat in the third when we come back on Flow Sports and the Otters Digital Network. Alec Olin leading it off for Evansville. Rodriguez winds and fires the first pitch. Fastball misses off the inside part of the plate, and the count is 1-0. 26 pitches, 17 strikes through the first 2 innings. Olin lines the next pitch back to the screen, and it's a 1-1 count. No score between Evansville and Lake Erie, and Rodriguez winds and fires. The pitch is lined back to the screen, and the count is 1-2. Evansville had the bats going in the second and third games against Washington. Now the 1-2. Olin takes a breaking ball low, and it's a 2-2 count. But dating back to yesterday, there was 19 in a row retired to end the game. Here's the 2-2. Olin takes low, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And it's been 6 up, 6 down from Rodriguez tonight. So make it 25 in a row retired as this pitching staff has done wonders. Next pitch in there called strike 3. And Olin down looking for out number 1. He thought it was a walk as he was walking to first. Instead, he'll walk back to the dugout. Now to be Justin Felix coming to the plate. No score in the third. Base is empty. 1 out. Rodriguez winds and fires. And Felix takes a strike at the knees, 0-1. But yesterday, home plate umpire Saul Lamofsky had a pretty consistent zone, but it was more of a tighter zone. Now the 0-1. Breaking ball misses outside, and seems like Adam Morgan has a similar zone tonight. So these pitchers will have to work, and if it's called strike 3, as a hitter, you probably know you should have at least swung. The next pitch in there, strike 2 to Felix. Felix has struggled at the plate this year, 173 average. He calls time. And in his 24 prior games, he's also struck out 35 times. So he struggles to put the ball in play as well. Down in the count, 1-2, the righty deals. And it's lined back to the screen. We'll try it again at 1-2. Felix is into his 4th season with the club. He has been here a while. Now the 1-2. Breaking ball bounces in and gets past the catcher Rodriguez. Caroms to the first base side, and we'll try it again, this time at 2-2. Rodriguez into the motion. Here's the pitch. And it's lifted foul back over the screen, giving it a look, Rodriguez, but this one's out of play, and we'll try it again at 2-2. Well, remember in that Washington series, it was the top half of the order to do a large portion of the damage against the Wild Things. Everybody struggled yesterday, though. Now the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Felix went chasing after one, and the tag applied by Rodriguez as that hit the turf. And there's 2 gone, and that's the 5th K of the game for the right-hander in 2 2/3 innings. Well, we could have a good pitcher's duel on our hand tonight. Again, we're not sure how long Rodriguez can go, but he's at 39 pitches now. Tosses the first one home for the 9-hole hitting Alex Adams, and it misses the zone. The count is 1-0. Rodriguez, the big right-hander, into the motion. Now the 1-0 pitch. Fastball paints the outside black. A ball and a strike for Adams. Adams saw 1 game against the Washington Wild Things, went 0 for 4 with 3 Ks. Now the 1-1. And this is a line shot back up the middle, base hit. So there's the Otters' first base runner of the game, and it is their first base runner since the 3rd inning of yesterday. We're in the third inning today, and the lineup will turn over for the leadoff hitter, Giovanni DiGiacomo. That ends the monstrous 27-in-a-row retired streak. Here's the pitch to Giovanni, and it misses off the inside corner, and the count is 1-0. That's a complete game worth of outs in a row. That's unbelievable. Now the 1-0 pitch, and this is lifted in the air straight away center field. Franco camping under it, and he retrieves it. The inning is over. So a 2-out base runner does no damage for Evansville, and it's 2.5 in the books at Crusher Stadium. No score with Lake Erie coming to bat. Bottom of the third inning, Braden Scott, the left-hander, into the motion. Here comes his first pitch, and it's a fastball swing and a miss. The count is 0-1 to the 9-hole hitting Sam Franco. A walk and a hit in the last inning for Lake Erie. No score here in the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch. And this is lifted in the air, first base side, foul territory. Ranging over is Phillips near the railing, and he'll make the catch. With just a couple of feet to spare before that ball going out of play, Phillips retires Franco, and there's one gone here in the third. So the lineup will turn over. Here's Jared Watkins. Scott also worked a 1-2-3 inning in the first. He's been pretty sharp tonight so far. Still early. Here's the first pitch to Watkins, and it misses off the outside part of the plate. 1-0 to the left-handed hitter. Scott, 38 pitches, 26 strikes. The southpaw kicks and deals, and this is skied in the air to the left side, out of play, and we'll try it at 1-1. Watkins struck out swinging his first time up, and both starters tonight have racked up a lot of early Ks. Now the wind and the pitch. And this is soared into center field, shallow. Backing up is the second baseman Adams, and he puts it away. There's two gone. So that'll bring up Logan Thomason, grounded out his first time up. Thomason batting .284 this season. We already mentioned, but he's a 2024 All-Star selection. And he displayed why yesterday. 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and 3 RBIs. Lefty on righty battle. First pitch is a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. Thomason really turned it on at the plate recently. The 1-0 pitch, and it's tapped to the left side. This is squibbing foul, and it'll cross the chalk. 1-1. Thomason in that last road series, just 4 for 23, but when he hit, he was really good in run production, 7 RBIs and a home run. Next pitch he sees, he lines it foul to the Crushers' third base bullpen. And now we'll try it at 1-2. Bases empty, 2 gone in the third. No score. Scott gets the sign, he's into the motion, the pitch. Here's a ground ball back up the middle, a base hit for Thomason. So that'll keep the third inning going. And now coming to the plate, it's Jack Harris, the 3-hole hitter. Scott now up to 44 pitches. This is a guy that has a big tank on the rubber. He averages almost 100 pitches per game. At the set, now the pitch, fastball high and away, swing and a miss, and the count is 0-1. 99.18 pitches. And that includes a start where he threw 67. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball lifted the opposite way, out of play, 0-2 to the right-handed hitting Harris. Scott went on a streak from May 29th all the way until July 2nd, where he threw 100+ pitches, and that totaled 7 starts. Now the next offering. Fastball high and away, and the count is 1-2. The most he has ever thrown in a game, 111, and he's done that twice, back on June 9th against Florence and June 21st against Windy City. He kicks and deals, and the 1-2 is a breaking ball way upstairs. Might have slipped out of the fingers of Scott as Felix had to pop out of the squat and reach up for that. Scott gets the sign. He comes to the set. The pitch. Fastball high and away again, and the count is 3-2. Harris flew out to center field his first time up. The southpaw ready. Now he deals. Runner goes to second. This ball swung on, lined out toward the right center gap. This is going to get down and roll for a while. Cut off on the warning track by DiGiacomo. Rounding third and heading for home is Thomason. He will score. Cruising into second, Harris, and Lake Erie takes a 1-0 lead. That's the 11th double of the year for Harris. And the scoreless game broken up in the third. Harris was down in the count, 0-2, battled back, got it to a 3-2 count, and was able to capitalize. A mistake pitch from Scott, and now there's a runner on second, 2 gone. Here's Vincent Bird Jr. First pitch to the left-handed hitting designated hitter, misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Bird struck out looking his first time at the plate. Scott, no strikeouts this inning. Here comes the 1-0, and this is swung on, line down the first base line. A fair ball as this is down the right field line, cut off by Olin, rounding third and scoring Harris, and it's 3 hits in a row, with 2 outs for Lake Erie here in the home third as they take a 2-0 lead. So we'll see how Scott bounces back. And he's starting to labor here this inning. Pitch number 18 of the frame coming up to Washington. Here it is. And it's a breaking ball, dropped in for a strike, 0-1. Evansville losing the series opener yesterday 7-3, falling behind today. Now the next offering, fastball, swing and a miss. But Evansville did come back when they were trailing in the series finale against Washington. Well, they'll have to have another comeback win if they want to take home a victory tonight. Scott steps and deals the 0-2. Bouncing ball blocked by the catcher Felix, a ball and 2 strikes. Scott has worked primarily with Jake Green this year, seeing 32 innings of action with Green, but he's also spent time with Felix, seeing 27 1/3 innings. The left-hander steps and deals, and the 1-2 is swung on, shot down the left field line. This hook's fouling out of play, and we'll try it again for Washington at 1-2. Well, Felix provides the best ERA when working with Scott. 3.62 is the ERA that Scott has boasted when working with Felix. 4.50 when working with Green. Here comes the pitch. Fastball way outside, easy layoff that time for Washington. The left-hander gets the sign. Time winding down on that pitch clock. He gets it off with 2 seconds. And here's a soft line drive into left field, a base hit. So again, another count where Scott was ahead 0-2. And these Crushers finding ways to keep this 3rd inning alive. Up to second base, Bird, and it's a base hit for Washington. 1st and 2nd, 2 gone. Here's Noah Marcoux. Well, first we'll have Max Peterson come out to the rubber, and it's 4 base hits in a row with 2 outs. Scott again went 1-2-3 in the first, gave up a walk and a hit in the second, but then got the next 2 guys out via the K, and he has struggled here in this 3rd inning, and the pitches are really starting to rack up. 23 total tosses in this 3rd frame. And Lake Erie leads it 2-0 over Evansville. Meeting on the mound over. And the bat boy still on the field, so time's still called. He's gathering all the equipment that the hitters have dropped off to the first base coach. Scott now ready at the set, the pitch. Marcoux lines it back to the screen, and the count is 0-1. That's how you know it's a good inning. Whenever the bat boy has to come and get all the gear that the players wear at the plate from the first base coach. Scott ready at the belt. He deals home. Fastball at the knees, called the strike, and it's 0-2. Scott got Sam Franco out, a fly out in foul territory, then Watkins to pop out on the infield. Then it was Logan Thomason to single, Jack Harris an RBI double, and Vincent Bird Jr. and Ronald Washington with 2 singles. Now the pitch. Breaking ball, check swing. Did he go around? No, says third base umpire Saul Lemofsky. And the count is 1-2. The Frontier League does a lot of great things. One thing that they could do to add to the greatness of this league, getting a 4-umpire crew. Here's the next pitch. Breaking ball misses low. How many times have we said an appeal to the third or first base umpire, but the umpire is standing back behind the mound? That's where Lemofsky is, because there's a runner on second. Way too often, and it's impossible for an umpire to make that call. Now the next offering. Grounder hit foul to the first base side, and we'll try it again at 2-2 for Marcoux. It's a small thing, but could make a difference in 10 to 20 calls throughout the season, and that could be huge. Scott at the set, he deals. And this is lined back to the screen. Marcoux staying alive, putting together a good battle. Pitch number 7 of the at-bat coming up. The other thing is, looks a little ridiculous asking the umpire behind the mound. You might as well not even appeal at that point. Just have the home plate umpire call it. He's got the better view, the pitch, and it's lifted foul and out of play toward the press box. 3 foul balls in a row from Marcoux as he stays alive. Scott ready. Glove at the belt. He kicks and deals. Fastball high and a check swing. He did not go around again on another appeal to Lomovsky. Well, this is some at-bat that Marcoux is putting together. He singled his first time up, seeing the ball really well. Here comes pitch number 9 of the at-bat. Scott offers up, and this is skied in the air, out of play, down to the left side. We'll try it again. So here comes Justin Felix to have a word with Braden Scott. This bottom of the 3rd inning has gone on for an eternity. We're almost an hour into this one, all thanks to the bottom of the 3rd. Feels like Scott has already thrown a full game's worth of pitches. Meeting on the mound over. Now the next pitch from Scott, and it's a check swing. Ground ball back to the mound, fielded by the pitcher. He runs and flips to Phillips, and that'll do it here in the 3rd. Lake Erie takes a 2-0 lead over Evansville. We'll be back in inning number 4 on Flow Sports and the Otters Digital Network. Evansville with some work to do here in the away 4th as they trail Lake Erie 2-0 as the Crushers put together a pair of runs in the bottom of the 3rd, and it will be 2-3-4 in the order. Delvin Zinn digs in from the right side, and back on the rubber, we have a new arm for Lake Erie. First pitch to Zinn, and it is at the knees for a called strike, 0-1. So it'll be Garrett Coe who toes the rubber. The left-hander deals the next pitch. Here's a high fly ball to shallow center. Charging in is Franco, and he will make the grab. There's one gone. So earlier we asked what the pitch count was going to look like for the starter, Leonardo Rodriguez. Guess that answers the question. 44 pitches. A quick out for Coe out of the bullpen. And now he will face David Mendham. Lefty on lefty matchup. First pitch misses the zone and the count is 1-0. 4 hits in a row with 2 outs for Lake Erie in the last inning to get their 2 runs, the next offering. And it's another fly ball shallow center, this time calling for it the shortstop Watkins, and he puts it away. There's 2 down as Mendham is retired. Well, a good start for Coe. And now he will face Dakota Phillips. Otters looking for an answer. They have garnered just 1 base runner since the 3rd inning of yesterday's game. Here's the first pitch, and Phillips takes low and away, the count 1-0. Coe finished the day with 5 first pitch strikes, 2 0-2 counts, 3 1-2 counts. Here's a fastball on the outside corner, called a strike, evens the count for Phillips. And of those 44 pitches, 28 went for strikes. The lefty winds and fires, breaking ball, swing and a miss, 1-2. Lake Erie's bullpen is just as good as their starting rotation is. And actually, their starting rotation might even be a little bit worse after they had to shelf Jack Eisenbarger. And that was a recent transaction that may end up hurting the club. Coe into the wind, he deals. Swing and a miss, and that'll do it here in the away 4th, a 1-2-3 inning as the first reliever of the game sets the Otters down in order, and we'll take it to the home 4th with Lake Erie leading 2-0. Walner Espinal leading it off here in the home 4th, and Lake Erie with a 2-0 lead over Evansville. Braden Scott winds and fires a strike, and the count is 0-1. The left-hander back into the motion. Here comes the pitch, and the 0-1 misses downstairs. A ball and a strike now for Espinal. Well, that brings the pitching total up to 70 on the game for Scott. He deals. And the 1-1 is a breaking ball, line down the left field line. Fair ball, this will roll into the corner, bounces up against the fence, picked up by Bednar, sliding head first into second. Uncontested is Espinal, and it's a leadoff double. It just seems like Lake Erie is starting to pick something up against Scott, who looked so good in the first 2 innings. Then he got the first 2 outs in the 3rd before Lake Erie struck for 4 hits in a row. and they were able to plate 2 runs in that 3rd inning. Now it's the 8-hole hitting Alex Rodriguez coming to the plate. And Evansville offensively has to find an answer to give Scott some run support. So we'll see if the momentum can be flipped here in this contest, because right now it's all crushers. Scott leans in, gets the sign, comes to the set from the stretch, a look to second, and now he deals home. Breaking ball in there for strike 1. Out of all of Scott's starts, he has thrown 4 quality starts. Still has a chance for 1 tonight. He will step off the rubber. Scott's best game of the season, numbers-wise, was back on June 27th against Joliet. Went 7 innings, gave up just a run on 4 hits with 11 Ks. Now the next offering. And here's a tapper foul to the Crushers' third base dugout. We'll try it at 0-2. Scott also went 7 innings all the way back on May 15th, his 2nd start of the year, but he took the loss after giving up 3 runs, just 1 earned. He is ready at the belt. Another look to second. He comes home. Fastball low, blocked by Felix. A ball and 2 strikes now for Rodriguez. Because of the Evansville defense, including the runs allowed tonight, Scott has given up a total of 47 runs, but only 34 have been earned. So that's 13 unearned runs. Here comes the pitch. Fastball near the shoe tops of Rodriguez. It kicks away from the catcher Felix as he was able to stop it, but it got out of the dirt circle toward the third base side, and that will allow Espinal to advance another 90 feet on the wild pitch. Scott has been ahead 0-2 now 8 times tonight. Problem is, he hasn't been able to figure it out. Hold on. What's going on here? Do we have a pitch clock violation? Or was it an intentional walk? Why is Rodriguez going to first like he just walked? The umpiring crew gathering together in front of the mound. This is very peculiar. What could be the call here? The umpire's still talking things over. Phillips, the first baseman, having a conversation with Scott near the rubber. Everybody else at their positions. Andy McCauley still in the dugout. And, okay, Rodriguez coming back to the plate. Now he's walking to the dugout. Folks, I am thoroughly confused. I believe he's going back to get his bat. He is. That was very weird. Well, the count is 2-2. So I don't know why Rodriguez was going down to first. Here's the pitch, and it misses low. I should have said the count was 2-2. Maybe he thought it was ball 4. But that wild pitch, which sent Espinal to third, came on a 2-2 count. 3-2, and then Scott walked him. So now to be Sam Franco coming to the plate. Runners on first and third. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch from Scott, and it's at the knees, a strike, 0-1. These have been some pesky Crushers hitters tonight. Another 0-2 count for Scott, and another base runner for Lake Erie. He deals home the 0-1 to Franco. Breaking ball high and away. Scott allowed 2 base runners in the first 2 innings. He's allowed 6 base runners in the 3rd and now 4th. He steps and deals home. And it's low near the shoe tops of Franco. And we'll try it now at 2-1. That pitch count really starting to get up there for the southpaw. He's at 80 pitches. I know he has a big tank, but you don't want to use him if he keeps giving up base runners and runs. The pitch, breaking ball, swing and a miss, and it's 2-2 now. But activity quiet in the Evansville Otters bullpen. So Max Peterson trusting his guy. Scott at the set, a look to first. The kick and the pitch, fastball way outside. Just seems like, not to harp on the guy, but Scott's misses have been uncompetitive misses, meaning he is not missing close to the zone. So they're easy takes for these Lake Erie hitters. He's ready again. Here's the pitch. Fastball called, strike 3. Right at the knees, and Franco down looking. He thought it was ball 4. Instead, it's out number 1. A big strikeout for Scott. That double play ball is in effect with runners at the corners. And here comes the leadoff hitter, Jared Watkins, to the plate. Lake Erie on top, 2-0 over Evansville. We're in the home 4th. Scott comes to the set. Lefty on lefty matchup. Here's the first pitch, and Watkins squares the bunt, puts it down the third base line. Charging Mendham, flip to home, and Flips applies the tag. Got him! What a play! David Mendham read that like a book, and they were able to gun down Espinal at home. Oh my goodness, you will not see a better play tonight. The awareness from David Mendham. And that is a huge out number 2 as it saves a run. So Watkins on first after the 5-2 fielder's choice. That is the defensive play of the game for Evansville. Here's the first pitch now to Logan Thomason. He swings and misses, and the count is 0-1. That is why David Mendham is an all-star. My goodness. Now the next offering, and it's grounded down the third base line, back behind third, just foul. Adam Morgan, our home plate umpire, making that call. That was extremely close. And the count is now 0-2 for Thomason. Scott comes to the set. Runners on first and second, 2 gone in the frame. And the pitch, breaking ball, swung on, hit high and deep to left, but this hook's fouling out of play. We'll try it again. Thomason 1 for 2. He singled in the third, scored a run. Lake Erie leads it 2-0. And now the pitch. Fastball, call, strike 3. Scott plays Houdini, gets some help from David Mendham in the Otters defense, and he keeps Lake Erie off the board. 4 in the books, and the Crushers with a 2-0 lead over Evansville.